Well, it depends on the company. You'd really have to ask them. Some will do it, others won't. And then you've got to work out the relative sacrifice. If your company is restricting where they will invest, whilst they're giving you a top up, obviously, on your salary into your company pension, what you've got to ask yourself is, if you move it elsewhere, would you earn more? That's the first thing. And secondly, will they provide some other way of giving you that cash which was going to go into your pension? Of course, they get a tax benefit by putting it into your pension in any event. Would they be willing, therefore, to give it to you just as a salary, instead of effectively a salary sacrifice in many ways? And you'd really have to speak to them directly about it. The trade-off is, let's say they're putting in, 3%, for argument's sake, into your pension. What you'd be asking yourself is, all that capital, how much would it appreciate? Could you do better than that, than what they're currently achieving? If they're adding 3%, let's say per annum, you're achieving a 5% growth, which is the mediocre default workplace pension returns, you might conclude that were you allowed to have a free hand to invest wherever you wanted, Nvidia, the Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, those kinds of companies, and that's not a solicitation to go and buy those stocks, you might conclude that, well, actually, that might work out better for you. That's the essential calculation. Starts off by, what are you currently invested in? Ask them to give you access to the login details with the workplace pension provider they've signed you up with, and then ask them to contribute to an employer's one. If you look at somebody like, say, Hargreaves Lansdown, and not necessarily a recommendation for them, they've actually created workplace pension portals. So if you've got an employer which doesn't actually care where you put your money, then that could be a good way of helping the employer out to get a bit more sophisticated and working in your own interest at the same time. Hope you found that useful. Thank you very much. Anybody else who's got questions, I will try and catch up with all the comments. It's about 1,000 comments a week, or feels like it. There are quiet times now while I'm waiting for my son to put on a bit of sunscreen. Here's the best time to do it. Thank you.